In life, the loudest people are rarely in control. The ones who fight the most are usually the ones losing. Real power doesn't need to shout. It doesn't fight. It waits. And when it moves, it ends the game. Welcome to the final move, where you win without ever fighting. Most people think winning means fighting, standing your ground, arguing louder, proving you're right, dominating the moment. But the truth is, the moment you fight, you've already lost something. You've lost time. You've lost energy. You've lost leverage. And worst of all, you've revealed your position. Because fighting is emotional. Fighting is reactive. Fighting is noisy. And power never thrives in noise. Power lives in silence, in control, in restraint. The strongest don't fight. They manipulate the battlefield so that the war never begins. They win before the first shot is even fired, because they understand something most people don't. The real victory is in control, not in destruction. The highest form of power is influence without resistance. Think about this. Lions roar to scare prey. Wolves stalk silently. Kings never run into battle. They send others. Chess masters don't smash pieces. They position them. So why are you trying to win by showing how strong you are? Why are you wasting energy proving your value to people who aren't even playing fair? Because you've been trained to react, trained to argue, trained to stand up for yourself in ways that make you look weaker, not stronger. You've been taught to play loud, but the real game is played in the shadows. Here's what they don't teach you. When you argue, you look emotional. When you explain, you look unsure. When you attack, you look threatened. But when you're calm, when you're quiet, when you're unbothered, you look like a threat. This is where power begins. Let others get loud. Let them bark. Let them scramble to prove themselves. Your job is to watch, to move when it matters, to set the board, not play their game. Because the final move isn't made with emotion. It's made with calculation, with patience, with silence. The final move is made before the other side even knows the game started. Most people think control means dominance. But real control? It's invisible. It's subtle. It's effortless. The most powerful person in the room isn't the one talking. It's the one everyone looks at before they speak. You don't need to force people to follow you. You just need to make them believe they should. And that happens not through intimidation, but through positioning. When you position yourself correctly, people will adjust themselves around you. You don't move. They move for you. Think of the people you naturally respect. The ones who say little, but everyone listens when they do. They don't demand attention. They attract it. They don't fight for power. They're simply given it. This is invisible control, and it's 10 times stronger than aggression. So how do you build it? Be unreadable. If people can't predict you, they can't control you. Stop oversharing. Speak less. Pause before you answer. Make mystery your shield. Stay emotionally centered. Reacting is weakness. When you don't react, people lean in. They guess, they adjust, they hesitate. And in that hesitation, you gain ground. Create quiet leverage. Don't ask for favors. Provide value silently. Let them owe you without even realizing they do. That way, when you speak, it lands like truth. Master your presence. Power isn't in words. It's in energy, in stillness, in how you enter a room, how you look at someone, how you listen without rushing to speak. The world is desperate to be seen, but the most powerful people are the ones who know that mystery is more valuable than attention. They know that being watched is better than performing. And here's the real truth. The people you control never realize they're being controlled. They think it's their idea. They think they're leading. They think they chose it. That's the beauty of influence without resistance. That's the art of control without effort. Let others fight. Let them bark, chase, prove. You observe, you influence. And when the moment is right, you make the final move. To win without fighting, you must stop thinking like a soldier and start thinking like a strategist. Soldiers act. Strategists position. Soldiers rush in. Strategists watch patterns. And the world is just one big chessboard of human behavior. Most people are too busy reacting to realize they're being placed. Placed in roles. Placed in conversations. Placed in emotional traps. And if you're not the one doing the placing, you're the one being moved. Here's what most people never see. Every social group, every relationship, every interaction is an invisible game of who controls who. It's not about words. It's not about status. It's about position. And the one who understands where each person stands can silently control the entire board. So how do you position people without them noticing? Let's break it down. 1. Give labels that guide behavior. Want someone to act more careful? Call them calculated. Want them to trust you? Call them loyal. Want them to obey? Say, you've always been someone who respects order. People live up to the stories they're told about themselves. If you give them the right role, they'll play the part without even questioning it. Subtle influence isn't in what you ask. It's in what you suggest they already are. 2. Control through contrast. If you want someone to feel powerful, put them next to someone insecure. If you want them to feel uncertain, mention someone who's more competent. People adjust their confidence based on what surrounds them. By setting up the scene, you control how they see themselves and how they act around you. 3. Trigger predictable behaviors. Human reactions are patterns. Want someone to chase you? Pull away. Want them to prove something? Question them. Want them to relax? Become more relaxed than them. When you understand the trigger, you don't need to demand behavior. You evoke it. This is how real manipulators operate, not through force, but through familiarity. They press the right buttons and let human nature do the rest. 4. Offer control to gain control. Want power over someone? Let them think they're in charge. Let them make choices within limits you set. Let them speak first after you frame the topic. Let them disagree after you've planted the outcome. This isn't submission. It's strategic surrender, a controlled illusion. The ego craves control, so give it just enough, and it will do whatever you want. Remember, the person who sets the frame owns the interaction. You don't need to control their thoughts directly. You only need to position them on the board so that every move they make is still in your favor. Because the final move isn't brute force, it's design, it's arrangement. It's the quiet orchestration of a game no one else sees until it's already over. In a world obsessed with winning, people see pulling back as weakness, as defeat, as surrender. But here's the truth. The most powerful players know when to disappear. Not because they've lost, but because they've already seen 10 moves ahead. Most people fight for every inch. They can't let go. They can't lose face. They need to win, now. But those addicted to the present moment never dominate the long game. They win battles and lose wars. You want to control outcomes? Learn to walk away when the timing is right. Because the moment you stop reacting, you start guiding. The moment you let them feel victorious, you start setting the trap. There is immense psychological power in retreat. It creates confusion. Why did he stop arguing? It creates guilt. Did I go too far? It creates curiosity. What's he planning? And most importantly, it creates space for your silence to grow louder than their words. Let's be clear. A strategic retreat is not giving up. It's letting the other person overextend. It's letting them think they've won, so they stop watching their back. It's pausing the battle to secure victory later. The lion that backs off isn't scared. He's coiling the spring. He's letting you get comfortable. So when he strikes, it's final. So how do you retreat with power? Here are 3 brutal tactics. 1. The silence withdrawal. Mid-conflict, don't defend. Don't explain. Just stop. Watch what happens. They'll keep attacking the space you left, but there's no resistance. Just silence. Soon, they'll start questioning themselves. Then, you own the frame. Silence is not absence. It's dominance without friction. 2. The delayed response. Don't give your reaction immediately. Wait hours, days. Sometimes, don't respond at all. Why? Because the longer they wait, the more they wonder. That wondering is control. You're not avoiding. You're controlling tempo. And tempo controls tension. And tension controls behavior. 3. The gift of false victory. Let them think they've won. Let them gloat. Let them believe they've gotten under your skin. Smile. And then shift the entire dynamic. Later, when they're relaxed, overconfident, and unguarded. That's when your next move is lethal. Not loud, not fast. Just final. Never forget this. The one who chooses when to engage is already ahead. You don't need to fight every battle. You only need to fight the right one. At the perfect moment. On your terms. Strategic retreat isn't weakness. It's control. It's foresight. It's the cold patience of someone who doesn't need to prove anything. Because when you can walk away from the game, you've already won. There comes a point where real power doesn't strike. It doesn't shout. It doesn't threaten. It simply ends things. Silently. Cleanly. Without drama. And that's what we call the kill move. The final action that makes all other moves irrelevant. But here's the secret. The kill move isn't about violence. It's about structure. You set up the game so that no matter what the other person does, they lose. Or worse, they don't even realize they've lost until it's too late. You see, most people think a win means being right, getting the last word, gaining recognition, proving dominance. But that's ego talking. That's visible victory. What you want is invisible victory, where they don't even know there was a game, where they don't even realize they walked into your trap, where they thank you while you outmaneuver them. Let me give you examples of kill moves. 1. Control through irrelevance. You don't argue with them. You make them irrelevant. You grow past them. You succeed where they stay stuck. You create something so valuable that their opinions, their attacks, even their existence, no longer affect your world. This is the quietest, coldest form of domination, outgrowing their influence. 2. Collapse the incentive. If someone tries to control you, don't fight their control. Remove their reward. Don't be angry. Don't explain. Just Stop being useful to their manipulation. Without the incentive, they lose power. They pull harder and get nothing. This is the move that makes manipulators implode. 3. Disappear without explanation. Not ghosting emotionally, vanishing strategically. Leave the job. End the relationship. Walk away from the game they thought you'd keep playing. Don't justify. Don't warn. Just disappear, with your peace and your power intact. The silence after a disappearance is deafening. They'll fill the void with guilt, regret, and questions. And in that space, you win. 4. Replace them without saying it. Don't tell them they've been demoted. Show them. Stop inviting them. Stop relying on them. Stop reacting. Let someone else take their place in your mind, your circle, your plan. This kills their ego, without a word. You end their role by rewriting the script. Every great strategist knows power is not always in winning. It's in deciding what counts as the game. You choose the game. You choose when it starts. And you choose when it ends. The final move? It's not loud. It's not brutal. It's inevitable. The trap was set 10 moves ago. The path was rigged before they stepped in. And while they were busy trying to fight you, you were behind them, already closing the door. That's how you win without fighting. With patience, with silence, with strategy. That's the cold truth. That's the final move. Now you see. The real masters of power don't argue. They don't fight. They don't beg to be seen. They design, they observe, they wait. And when the time is right, they move once and never have to move again. That's not luck. That's not magic. That's strategy. So if you're tired of being reactive, tired of being manipulated, tired of losing to people who don't deserve to win, then maybe it's time to step out of the noise and into silence, out of emotion and into calculation, out of the arena and into the shadows. Because in a world full of fighters, the one who doesn't fight wins. If this message hit something inside you, if it shook your view of strength, or reminded you of who you used to be before the world tamed you, then you belong here. This isn't just a video. It's a mindset, a movement, a return to strategy, to control, to cold power. So subscribe, not for me, but for you. Because every week, you'll get the weapon they never gave you. You'll learn how to outlast, outmaneuver, and outthink without ever raising your voice. Until then, stay silent, stay watching, and remember, the final move is yours.